So here we are. It's been a fortnight waiting. Luckily we've had a bit of a heat wave in the UK, so I've managed to top up my tan, just chill for 10 days or so, joined the gym, did a bit of fitness work, still haven't lost any weight mind, but finally it has arrived. One big box, one little packet in it. That's all I was waiting for. So I've actually quite enjoyed just chilling and relaxing a bit, so hopefully we'll bit of renewed vigour for the final stages of the build. I'll keep you informed, guys. Here we are, back again. Had a break, bit of sun, bit of chilling, watched a few YouTube videos, just waiting patiently for the glue to arrive, which has arrived, and today is the first day back after about 10 or so days not making it to the workshop. So it's good to be back, and I can spin this around and show you the progress I've made. While talking about the videos I was watching a guy called Matt. I think it's Kiwi 1917 Sopwith camel build. Wow, what a guy, Matt. Really impressed, really impressed. He's making full scale replica of Sopwith camel, all out of wood, cutting, sewing, planing, filing, doing the lot. Absolutely brilliant. I am absolutely in awe of what you guys do. Same with Scott Matthews over in Australia there. You make me feel like a proper fraud here, guys, but keep up the good work, loving it, and I'll show you what I've done today. So there we go. You may spot the colour change. All the tapes are all on. I added some extra tapes to the cockpit sides here, filled the weave, and we're all ready. All the gussets are on, inspection plates, and as you can see, those won't cutting out because I'll need to have those cut out to get access to the bolts that fit the tail on there. You can just see the bolts. So yeah, we're all coloured. I think they've probably got more of it on me doing the underneath, laid on my back doing the underneath. So I like decorating your ceiling, but yeah, that's come on. I'm pleased with that. Next job is the grey filler, and we can start that tomorrow, I'm hoping. I'll leave this to dry overnight now. You may also notice I've got the wheels covered. I've done both sides. I'll flip this over. Both sides are done. Just need a little bit of tidying up. They've both been the weave filled, but as you can see, just need a little bit of tidying up around the holes I've made to for the air filling for the valve there. And yeah, we're both of those are done. Again, both sides. You see it there. The headrest is done as well. So we're all pretty much weave filled and ready to go. Started masking off a bit at the front here for when the paint goes on, but I'll roll that grey paint on as I did before. Probably a couple of coats, and then maybe even one coat. I can't remember what I did. I'll have to look back at the video, won't I? But I'll put the grey filler on tomorrow, and it's nice and warm here still, so should dry pretty quickly, and we'll go with that tomorrow. I'll keep you informed with the progress. So yeah, it's looking good on that. It looks a bit nicer when it's all one colour. That's the first coat of the filler on. I've got one coat drying now. It's still pleasantly warm here, but not obviously as warm as it was when I had the Wendy house up, so it'll take about a half an hour to dry. So I guess I can have myself a cup of tea and sit out in the sunshine if it's still shining out there. So that's the fuselage done. Wheels, as you can see, I put the tyres back on. I put the tyres back on mainly because I wanted to see how the fit was and whether the cloth had made any difference to the fit of the tyres, but it doesn't appear to have done. It fits into a rim underneath the wheel spokes. Obviously fit into the rim there, and there's an arc under the rim, so they seem to fit all right. So that's those again done. There's the other one, and there's the headrest nestling behind there. So that's one coat on everything. I also I've only got half a dozen of the inspection covers there, so I've just given them a coat of X primer as well, wiped them down with some MEC and coat of X primer on those, so those can go be sorted. But I guess I'm going to need some more of those. I've only got 6. I certainly need 4 for the fuselage for the tail, just to be able to fit the tail, so it leaves me a couple of spares, and I'll come back when this is dry, give it a go with a Scotch-Brite, get rid of the bits. It does show up the, as we found out when I did the wings, it does show up a few of the, I'll show you those, you can just see some there, how it, I don't know where it lifts up the teeth of the tapes, or whether it just magnifies the tapes where they're not down fully. But I've got a couple of places you can see there, and there's a few here I noticed. They were not immediately obvious. I've been over it once with an iron before I put this coat on, and there's another quite a bad one there, but we'll go over it as we did process before. The underneath is also done. You can't really see in there, but the underneath is done. So it's all done. Just leave it to dry now, have a cup of tea, and come back, Scotch-Brite it down, iron down those tapes again, and we'll give it a second coat. Then we'll be ready for the white undercoat then. There we go, second coat of the weave filler, the Eco-Fill stuff, all on there, sanded down, been over the tapes with an iron. They're a little bit sticking up. This is a process you just got to keep doing. This is obviously going to be the bit that people see the most, so I'm being as fastidious as I can be on this. But that's the second coat of weave fill. Looks nice. A few little bobbles and bits from the paint. I do think that the paint that came with the kit, both the glue and the weave fill, was on its a bit aged, shall we say, well matured. So there are a few lumps of the pigment and stuff in there, but I've sanded all those off. Looks quite nice. A nice solid colour. So I'm going to mix the white up now with some Floetrol, a bit of water, white paint, and we'll get that on as the undercoat. Keep you informed. Well, there we go, coat number 2 of the white on there. It's going to need another one, but it's going to need a decent sanding and Scotch-Briting down, give it a decent finish. But if I pull in closer, you can see it's the weave's starting to settle down now. I've been over it with the iron, and the weave's slowly starting to fill. If I can focus in on that, looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. There's a couple of bits at the end here that need another go with the iron and a bit of sandpaper once the paint's soaked into them. Get the edges off there, but there's going to be the headrest on there. Well, actually you can see the headrest and the wheels over there, but I have run out of paint as I expected, and I ran out before I got a chance to do the headrest, so I'll go to the local DIY store, B&Q, and get some more of the exterior paint for the white, because I need one more coat of undercoat on it, and also I need a top coat for the white stripe. Let me show you the the plan, if I may. So we'll stick that on there. So obviously we're going to have to come around the other side so it's facing the same way. So that's going to be there. You can see the measurements of, I don't know whether that's focusing on this. Okay, so that's a 60-degree angle from the bottom there. It's going to go just to the top of the cockpit in the blue, and then it's, I have written it down somewhere, 60 centimetres length there, look. 80 for the white and 60 for the red, 60 for the final yellow. So that's the breakdown of it. Obviously I've got the Tango and the Sierra to go up there, and the white rose has got to go in the middle. So we'll work all that out once I've got the paint coated. And yeah, it's coming on. I don't know what else let's have a look at them pictures there. Yeah, I'm going to have obviously that headrest is going to end up blue, and I need to check out exactly where it's going to end up on the cockpit, because of course I've got the cockpit combing to go on as well, which I haven't done anything about yet. So that I'll have a look at that now before I go and see how that's going to work out, because that's going to be affected by the colours as well, isn't it? So yeah, that's going to be that's my next job now. Have a quick look at that, see where that's going to work with the colours, because I'm going to have to get that sprayed. Certainly have to put some etch primer on the aluminium, because that will go on to bare aluminium, and obviously I'm going to have to etch prime the cowling over the top there. That's going to be painted. I think I'll paint that. I know I've got the engine cowling there in red. Seriously contemplating keeping that in the polished aluminium though. Might have to have a look at that. Can always be done separately, but I might just keep that as a polished aluminium. We'll see. Okay, so I'm about to start the last coat of the white paint. I'm going to try a bit of time lapse on this, see how it works. May show it, may not. We'll see how it goes. But I'll be back to you when I've done the last coat of the white, and then start marking up for the other colours. Well, that's the last coat of white on. I'll spin it around, show you. It's just going to dry now. Once that dried, I'm going to start doing the markings for the colours, and then I'm going to do the white base for the white stripe. So that'll, while I've got white, I've still got white left. I've put quite a thin layer. I've thinned the paint down a little and put some Floetrol on it, hopefully get a nice surface coverage. Obviously my thoughts are this is going to be much more visible than tops of wings and bottoms of wings and that sort of thing, so I'm trying to get a really good finish on this bit. Up to now it's looking alright, but I'll spin this around, show you what the last coat looks like before it dries, and then we'll get marked out. Hopefully I'm here for the day, and we'll let you know at the end of the day how it's all gone. So there we go, that's the last coat of white on. Pretty nice coverage. Let's focus in on the stitching here on the dog tooth. As you can see, it's filling slowly. I'll give it a bit of a sanding again before we start the colours. One or two little anomalies there. They're as much in the tapes as anything else. Most of the tapes look pretty good. Sorry, I'm moving a bit fast there. Just one or two little anomalies. Again, I'll go over with the iron. And I noticed one just there, look. So I'll go with the iron before, and a bit of Scotch Brite before I start on the colours, but then I'll mark it out for the basically chevrons. They are the stripe, the angled stripes, and that's going to be the next job when they stride. So, cup of tea time, sit in the sunshine a bit, have a cup of tea, and I'll be back. So there we go. First coats of yellow are on the fuselage. Pointy end and blunt end. 2 coats. Need a bit of a sand down, so I'm going to leave it to dry. I won't be here for a few days now. I might be here in a couple of days' time. We'll see. I've got a gig tomorrow night, so I might not get down. Be late Sunday if I do. So that's the colour scheme coming on. It's slightly different to the original plan. Mainly the wooden front is the biggest difference, of course, but I don't know whether you can make out there, but I have marked out the circles for the roundel. I've also put a little bit of tape there, which, whether you can see it or not, says rougher red, and there's another on the other side with buffer blue. So in my stupidity I don't mess it all up, and that's the B and the R on there. That did have a year for yellow on it as well, but I've taken that off to paint it, so hopefully I can't go wrong with that bit now. But yeah, it's all marked out, measured out. The only real difference is where the blue is going to start and finish. In that, if you can see on there, the blue starts a bit further up the cockpit, somewhere sort of here. But that's by the by. I've got the over in the corner there. Those the cockpit combing bits there. They will need undercoating and painting as well, and that is the cowling over the fuel tank. The top there, both been etch primed, ready for some white paint on those next. But I think I'll get this done first, and then measure up with the with those pieces on. So I've got the colour scheme going. Obviously the over the radiator is going to be yellow. Over the fuel tank is going to be yellow. But yeah, there we go. That's it for this one. Content is pretty much same old, so there's nothing to inspire you at the minute, I'm afraid. That'll probably come when the engine mount and the engine starts coming on. We're looking at different processes. But yeah, I don't mind this painting job, and it seems to be going on all right. One step at a time. Cheers, guys.